So this is our new tool that Rachel talked about in the video the other day. Just a little auger. I think it's about 3.5 inches. Came from Amazon. As she mentioned the other day, we were waiting for our Amazon delivery. There's like a 4-pack of these. Like this is the biggest one, and then it's got a couple smaller ones. And I think like the whole set was like $20 or something. And so far, it's seeming really handy. Most of these tomato plants are quite tall, so we're drilling the holes like as deep as we can so that she can plant them all the way up, and they'll just re-root off their stems. We'll leave a link to this down in the description if you want to check it out. There's a lot of different manufacturers that make them, but looking good.
Yeah. So to every single one of these holes, I'm adding a 1/2 pint of my compost slurry and a good dose of an all-purpose slow release fertilizer.
It does look like mud pie mud.
Mm-hmm.
Good job, you're going faster than me.
Yeah. Some of these plants got way too tall. So I'm having to bury them quite deep. And I just talked to Todd, hey, I need those holes to even go deeper for some of them. Like if they're not as tall, like not all of them are, I can go back and backfill in. But for the ones that I need to really bury down, I need them quite deep. What'd you do?
I made a mess.
Okay. And no, of course, I have no idea what I'm planting right now because I lost track a long time ago of what's what. But I think I at least know which ones are my cherries. They're gonna anchor the trellises, and then I'll have all my delicious tomatoes in between. So they look a little sad because they have been, they stayed their first full night outside last night. So I didn't water them before I'm transplanting them right now. I'm gonna come in and water them deep afterwards. But I've been hardening these guys off now for a full 2 weeks. The last probably 4 days, they've spent the majority of the entire day outside. And I think they're going to do great. These are all indeterminate varieties too. So I'm excited for a super great tomato year.
some of them when we got farther along. I found the trick once you drill it, stick your hand in and you can scoop out a whole bunch more soil and you can get them deeper that way.
Oh, really?
And I went through and counted, assuming I counted right, there's 15 per row. So 2 rows, 30 tomato plants. So should be pretty awesome.
Exactly what I needed.
Is that how many your goal was, 30?
Yeah, 30. It's kind of cool that there was that much available space here because I didn't expect there to be.
That's a really deep one.
Yep.
So I pluck these bottom stems off. How often you guys see me out helping in the garden planting? I'm usually building stuff. This one too?
Yep. The next one?
Sorry.
Might be good. Squeeze at the bottom. Never pull from the stem, just let them fall out. There you go.
Yeah, fluff his roots.
No.
No?
I'm just worried that this isn't, hold on, it's really shallow down, or not wide. Okay. Maybe that'll work.
There you go. Todd's first tomato. He's planted in the garden. So after drilling with that little auger thing, 30 holes. What do I think of it? I think it's super handy. If you have roots in the ground, like there's a big maple tree right over there, and I think some of the roots got over here. If you hit a root, your drill's gonna go and sink right down into the ground, and it's gonna be hard to pull back out. So if you have roots, be careful using those things. Make sure you got a really strong grip on your drill if you got a powerful drill, because it can really torque your wrists. And oh, I dug up some like pottery stuff over there.
Oh, really?
Some of that like clay tile stuff. There's I'll see if I can post a picture of it here, of our property back in 1972, and the exact spot, maybe a little bit farther back where Rachel's garden is. There used to be a big full-size 2-story barn here. So we also found some, when we were digging all the post holes to put in the new garden fence, when the boys were digging them, they were digging up all kinds of things, big chunks of rock, and had clay tile and different things. So I don't know what happened to the barn in 1972. It was still here. I don't know if it burned down, if they tore it down, but whatever remnants were left behind must have just got buried and bulldozed and leveled. So
Nice. Thank you.
there's one more thing I wanted to tell you guys about today. There is a family that lives down the street from us who just happens to be really good friends with my mom. And we were chatting with my mom the other day about, you guys are crooked again. We gotta learn how to do this better. Chatting with my mom the other day, and they were asking us about our homestead and our garden and our YouTube channel. And a gentleman, young man by the name of Russell, who I believe is about 8 or 9 years old, apparently watches all of our videos. So very cool. Russell, if you're watching this one, we appreciate you. Come down and visit us sometime.
I've been so busy, I don't think I've even stopped and looked at you guys. Looked at the camera. Well, I think first I just want to acknowledge that I did it. I started all of my own tomatoes for the first time ever and made it all the way to today, planting them in the garden. There were so many moments of potential failure along the way, and I did it. I'm so excited. And I just want to thank you guys for the encouragement. Most recently, I got a question on, what was the question about? When did I choose to start hardening them off and planting them out? and to plant them out. So I would say I started the process of hardening them off, like even if the nights were still getting down into the 30s and 40s, and I'll tell you, one of the things, the auger does not work making a wide enough hole on these square planter boxes, but that's okay. But anyway, the nights were like oftentimes still in the 30s, but I would wait till it warmed up to at least the upper 40s. And the first couple days it was just like an hour or two, and then it progressed up to you know, half the day and then most of the day. And I always picked like overcast days to begin with, never like bright sunshiny, until and then maybe when I first started introducing them to full-on overhead sun, I would cut it back again to just like an hour of full overhead sun, and then a little bit more and a little bit more. And like I said, last night was their first full night out overnight, and they handled it like champs. And oh, why did I choose this weekend? Why did I wait till today? And today's actually Saturday. In my last video, I said I was going to get them planted on Friday, and then we just had so much fun company yesterday. My daughter-in-law was in town, and so we got to visit with her, and then our son and daughter ended up coming over and having a bonfire with us and stayed the night. And so that was more important than planning these out. So they waited till Saturday. And what I was looking for was, it was going to be okay in my mind if I had a few moments in the 40s overnight. Like, you know, if it was 1 to 3 hours of that type of temperature, but it easily was, you know, 60s and 70s during the day. And I will say, waiting till today, I don't think I have any more 40-degree nights. Oh, that one got really deep. And we are 80s right around the corner here. So I'm just beyond thrilled. Oh, there's a piece of that pottery Todd mentioned. Yep, another piece. That's fun. Kind of wonder what was here, huh? Long time ago. Woo! This is going to be so fun because, like I said, I have no idea. So I planted, let me tell you what varieties, if you haven't been following my seed starting journey. So we've got sweetie cherries, golden cherries, Cherokee purple, boxcar willies, Kellogg's, and San Marzano and Amish paste. So I hope it's just a trellis of variety. Every other tomato plant is going to be something different, and I think it's going to be really fun to just walk through and go, oh, that's who you were. Welcome. So I have 12 more to plant down this row, and that will be my capacity, what I need to grow enough tomatoes to preserve my own. Whatever I have left, I'm probably going to find a couple places around the garden to stick a few, and then the rest I'll just give away. All right, very last one. Just make my hole wider. Planting in sandy, loamy soil, it just wants to collapse on you though and not get wider. So we're gonna add our very last cherry tomato. And some of them I was able to get planted really, really deep up their stems, but some, they were just so tall. I didn't get them planted very deep. So they'll respond. They might have a little shock. You know, one thing I didn't mention is it was supposed to be extremely overcast today. So I really thought today would be more optimal than yesterday, getting them planted out today. But the sun decided to be very beautiful today, which I'm not going to complain about. But if you're transplanting out plants, it is optimal to do it on an overcast day. Just give them a little less stressful of an environment. But being that they've been out in the environment for a good week, all day, every day, I think that they're going to handle it okay. So I need to just get these watered in, but I'll tell you, I have 2 at least more beautiful, beautiful plants, tomato plants that I do want to plant out here. So even though I have my main crop of 30 here, there's a spot I have in mind for 4 additional tomato plants, just because I want to see them grow up. I want to see them. So let me get those planted. We'll get them watered in. But thanks, guys. I hope you're celebrating with me. This has been such a rewarding experience for me. So push yourself to learn new skills in the gardening, or whatever your hobby is, really. For me, it's gardening. I taught myself this year to start seeds and did a lot of the wrong things, but I had enough luck to see me through this first year. So the true test will see, can I do it again next year? So now it's just watch these babies grow up and build this glorious space with all the tomatoes my heart could desire. See you guys on the next one.